So someone wrote in and said, I'm having a hard time dating because I get really messed up when I'm interested in someone. I'm usually okay for the first couple weeks, but then either I ended up clinging or I want to run away because I'm afraid they're going to hurt me. And I end up alone and disappointed. I have a kind of clingy pattern going on. Is it something wrong with me? What do I do? How do I get out there and really make deep connections?
Yeah, and thank you for writing this in. I think, is this the one that somebody emailed
Yes.
me? So I talked about this in more depth in a Facebook Live video. So if you haven't been watching, I try to Facebook Live every day. So you could go to facebook.com/Reid Mahalko, and that's my personal page, and you can follow me there. And then there's, sometimes I get these questions really quickly because we meet infrequently. What's your advice? Because my stuff's on Facebook, and I'll say some more now, but I'm curious about your advice.
Yeah, I think that it's really easy to get in that push-pull. Like, I want to be really close. I'm starving. I want to eat. I want to consume that, and I want to run away because it's always going to fail. There's a catch-22 there that a lot of people get into. So if you can be just gentle with yourself, and I think that people are much more stable when they are getting their needs met in a lot of different ways. So if we're just relying on, just from pure physics, if you're relying on one point of stability, you're very tippy. And if that person isn't available or they're having a bad day, all of a sudden it feels like the world is kind of walked out. So if you can find other points of stability, friends, jobs, community that you have, different groups that you're part of, you can start building a much more stable place where, wow, that person is important to me, and I want to, it's nice to have our love interest be a main part of our lives, but they don't have to be the only thing. And if they're feeling like they're having a bad day or just not feeling particularly close, because people do, they ebb and flow. They're like days when I really like Reid and days I just want to just kick him out the door.
The second one is the more of those days.
But no, every humans, there's a dance, and sometimes we're closer and sometimes we're further away. And if we're only relying on that one person and they start pulling away, there's a feeling like we either need to grab on and cling or run away so we don't get hurt so much.
The analogy I use is it's like going food shopping. When you go food shopping hungry, you tend to make more poor food choices. There have been actual studies about that. So can you get your social needs met? Can you snack with friends, community, going out for munches or joining some meetup group or something like that, hanging out with coworkers if you like them? Where can you get some of those social needs met? And that way in the dating realm, you're not so starving.
Yeah.
And then you start like pulling at the person who's helping you get your needs met, rather than, you kind of having your tanks more full.
Yeah. So, and just be gentle with yourself. Part of a lot of people that have that clingy or wanting to run away response, we might have learned it when we were very little. We're trying to deal with something. We were a very small child. We were faced with a parent that wasn't available or was too close. Most people don't know boundaries. They don't know how to give them, especially to children. And so we made meaning about it. We made it that if I don't hold on, someone's going to leave or they're going to suffocate me if they get too close. It's often about something we decided when we were very little. So you can work through that. There's therapy, coaching, journaling, as you suggested. And also just having a lot of people in your life. So you're like, hey, I need a break from you for, I don't want to see you later today. I'm just going to take care of myself and go out with my friends or give myself space.
Mm-hmm. And again, you can also practice when you do go on dates or hanging out with those people who tend to be your main source of nutrients. Try to be intentional and go hang out in groups with them. Go do something social together so that you're not always just doing things always alone. If you're doing things always alone and you're in the situation where things are wobbly, just be suspect of that. Yeah. And like Cathy said, if you have a lot of things from childhood that you haven't dealt with yet, and all this may be going on in its own way for the people that you hang out with, like if you flip the video and think of the people that you're dating, going through these things too. You might want to just have a conversation, the two of you, about these dynamics, like watch this video together. But also understand, if you know you have a bunch of stuff from childhood that you haven't dealt with yet, you are unintentionally pulling on this other person with all your childhood stuff. And now that you might know that it's there, I think you owe it to yourself and to the world at large to go find resources to handle that. Because if you don't have to be perfect about it. If you don't, you're kind of foisting that it's the other person who has to deal with it, which I think may be why people feel weird. Because most people don't want a lot of pulling or to feel responsible for somebody else's childhood stuff. Even if that's not conscious, it could be a feeling. Because again, I grew up in a family where I was kind of expected to save my mom and dad. So if this person I'm dating is expecting me to save them, I am dealing all with my parent stuff. So again, like, remember, everyone's going through their own version of what we're talking about. How conscious can you make it? And then can you support each other in going and get those resources handled on your own? Because you end up unconsciously creating a therapy situation with each other.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is what dating is about. I think not.
I love that you ask in your Relationship 10X, your relationship program, why are you dating? And you get people present to why they're dating, and I think that's worthwhile. Why are you out there dating? What do you want to add to your life with dating? And then go from there.
I want to read you on my family. Will you marry me? That's
so romantic.
Leave comments. What do you think? Bye. Hit subscribe.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?